What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Josh Mason here. I want to talk about opening versus closing, when to open, when to close, and also when to be gentle with oneself versus when to challenge oneself. A couple notes. One is that I just had a filling done, an old filling that broke, that had to be replaced, and I made sure to get mercury filling. So my mouth is a little numb, and my lip may be moving in funny ways, or rather not moving in funny ways. Also, my phone is on and I'm expecting a call, so if I get a call, I'll have to pause, and if I get texts, I'll ignore them, and hopefully you can too. So, when to open and when to close. I think life is about being strategic and graceful in our openings and closings. See, a real warrior actually opens when things are difficult. It's like the epitome of a warrior is someone who knows that life is fucked up, that humans are going crazy and there's tons of dark forces in the world, and yet says, okay, let's move forward. How do we move forward? Excited to start the day. Versus the other alternatives, right? Someone who talks about all of this stuff being wrong with humanity and closes as a result, or staying hidden in their room with guns and rice. Right? That's another alternative. And then the others are just naivety. There's someone who just has no idea what's going on, and that's easy to handle. Or I guess has no idea what's going on and is open, and has no idea what's going on and is closed. Those would be the four different possibilities. But the real spiritual warrior understands what's going down and still chooses to open. Similarly, in relationships, someone's bringing you something difficult. It's that you take it personally. What do? You open. You open to it. That's how you create lasting relationships. You constantly open to that person's truth if it's a relationship that you want to cultivate. And if they're bringing you something of any value, truth, or honesty, authenticity. So the real warrior opens, and it's much easier to close. Think about how many situations where it's so much easier to shut down, to close. Someone's telling you something you don't like. The easy path is to tell them to go fuck themselves. The easy path is to shut down and become walled and defensive. The hard thing is to remain open. If we can make a practice of remaining open in difficult times while strategically closing, that I think is a massive piece of the human journey and of the spiritual journey and of healing. So when do we close? I believe closing should happen when we are in danger, when we are experiencing someone who has no integrity, experiencing someone who's not being fully authentic, and making it about us, right? If someone is making it about them and they're saying, I feel this way, I feel that way, we have to open to that. But if they're making it about you and why you're wrong, well, I mean, it's not necessarily a time to close, but it's a time to say, well, okay, well, I want this to be about you, And if it's someone you really, really care about, let them come after you with that. Open anyway. Especially feminine energy. Feminine energy is always looking for the man to be solid. It's always testing the man, making sure that they stay in their solidity and can open to the BS that a woman would bring forward. Not that a man doesn't bring BS forward as well, but just that's the test. Can you hold their shit? Can you hold their fears and not take it personally? So, closings when we're on a subway, when we're in public transportation, when someone is violently coming after us or threatening us, when you don't want to speak to someone, when someone is coming at you with an energy that you're not appreciative of, and you don't want to connect with them. You conserve your energy, conserve your opening, and you close up. And you say, okay, yep, nice to meet you. Or you never even open up to them in the first place, and then they'll pick up on that, and you can save energy and save time. Opening to the relationships where we get little intuitions about, you meet someone and it's like, oh, I'm interested. What's happening here? Open. Versus, oh, I'm meeting this person. Doesn't feel good. Don't like what he's bringing forward. Let's close this down, right? Always with grace. Never, it doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't have to be a big operation, or you don't have to give permission to close. Like, oh, okay, I'm really not appreciating this, so I'm gonna, okay, yep, nice meeting you. It's more like you just do it. You don't give permission for yourself. You just do it. Which is contrary to the common spiritual beliefs these days about having an open heart no matter what, Love to all beings, peace and love to all beings, namaste. Oh, namaste. I'm not a believer in that. I'm not a believer in that path. In terms of really being a wholesome individual, making a living, enjoying your life, not bleeding all the time and sacrificing yourself. I don't believe in that sustainable model. I believe that we have to close. We have to sometimes go into our belly, into our animal, yeah. I don't believe that it's just open heart at all times. I've lived like that. I really did. For a year and a half while I was sick, I just constantly opened my heart, no matter what. And very difficult to recover from illness in that space. You can be in your belly and still have an open heart. You can be in your animal nature and still and give someone intense energy and still have compassion. They're not independent of each other. Or it's not like an if-then statement, I think binary is the word, right? It's not a one, or it doesn't have to be a 0 or a 1. You can merge the two. Anyhow, I'm getting a little off track here. So choosing the openings, choosing the closings, right? Being graceful with it, being strategic. I'll give another example, okay? I'm at this gathering, this event, and I'm there with one of my friends. My friend is very, very open-hearted and maybe a little more new on the spiritual journey. And there's this woman there, and he goes and he's really excited to be there at this event, and he goes and he walks up to these women, and his heart's open, and he's so excited, and he's, hey, how are you? Oh, and this woman just totally shuts him down in a very, very rude way. She was talking about how her hatred for men and how men can't be trusted and how he's doing, I don't even know exactly what she told him, but I saw his face 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later. In that 10-minute period of time, before I knew what happened to him, I also had an interaction with this woman. I should call her a girl, not a woman, even though she was probably 30. And in that 10-minute period of time, I had an interaction with her, which I'll talk about. But afterwards, I saw his face, and I was like, what happened? Immediately got a download. I was just like, oh, you talked to that girl, didn't you? And I knew that's what had to happen in order for him to go from such a happy place to such a dark place in a matter of 10 minutes. I just must have talked to that girl, because I felt her energy within seconds of speaking to her, and I immediately closed. So he entered very open heart, and that was exactly what she was able to hit. What he came forward with was what she was able to hit or hook or destroy temporarily, of course. or close. So whatever we come forward with is what that person is playing with, right? So I talked to her, and someone, I don't even know how it happened, but I talked to her, and within a few seconds, I could smell something wasn't right. I just felt her. I just tuned into her energy. Ooh, something's not right here. And when I meet people, I'm no longer in the, unless they're very, very safe people, they're a mutual friend or their family, I'm in my belly. I'm not, and this is, maybe I'm going off on a rant here because it's not necessarily closing versus opening, but I'm in my deeper energy versus my heart. And when I introduce myself, it's like I'm belly, heart, mind merged together. Like I did this before in another video, you know, like, hey, Josh, nice to meet you. Versus like, hey, I'm Josh. Hey, so nice to meet you. Or being a closed asshole, which is like, yeah, Josh, nice to meet you. Yeah, I got other places to be. Yeah, nice to meet you. Right? So I'm open, but I'm in something deeper than my heart. And when I introduce myself like that, there's nowhere for them to really take it. There's no way for them to hurt me. And I smelled something was wrong, ended the conversation very quickly. It got brought into some funky territory, and I just said, okay, have a nice night. That was like some darkness that I have not seen in a while, that level of twisted darkness. Went over to my friend, and he actually probably wouldn't even mind me saying his name. It's Colin, and he's my video guy. And I saw what he experienced. And that's when we went through this whole lesson of dude, you know, it's very difficult to be in that space all the time in public situations, right? You want to be merged. And when you're merged with your belly and your heart and your energy centers are merged, people are attracted to you. You don't have to go out of your way. You don't have to be nice. You don't have to try and be liked. People come to you like you're a mosquito light, like you're a bug light. People are just like, they want to come up to that frequency of wholeness, integrity. So anyway, that's another example, opening versus closing, kind of. The next thing I wanted to talk about is I was watching Planet Earth the other day on Netflix, last night actually. And in that documentary of Planet Earth, there were elephants that lived and died by the water. And what I mean by that is their life consisted of being in a dry season and making a long trek to water. The water leaves that area, they make a long trek to more water. And their life is literally extreme drought, extreme plentiful water. And they go back and forth. And that's their life. Their life is literally dictated by water. That's their whole life is, we have water. It's almost like that's their main elixir. And oh my God, we have water. We ran out of water. What do we have to do? We got to find more water. Let's go across the globe. Not really. I think it's across a whole 1,000-mile desert and get more water. Oh, we have water. Oh my God, we're almost dying. What do we do? Oh my God, this is exhausting. I'm almost dying. I almost don't make it. Water, more water. And that's their whole life, okay? These elephants. And that brings me to, when are we gentle with ourselves versus when do we challenge ourselves? See, it's about dancing between the two. Because this is the natural rhythms of life, going through one cycles, okay? Going through one phase and coming into another phase. The moon, everything, the tide, everything is in cycles and patterns and rhythms and in flux. We have to learn how to be in flux with life. So what I always try and teach people, my clients, is that that we can be gentle with ourselves some of the time, and then we can challenge ourselves other time, and we can also be gentle with ourselves in the challenge, right? We don't want to get stuck in either two paradigms, sitting around all day and loving yourself and never leaving your home, watching TV and resting all day on this healing journey. It's not going to get you very far. It's probably better than the alternative, which is to be exercising all the time and say, I'm not fucking doing enough, I'm not enough, I need to challenge myself, I need to go run more and jog more and talk to more women and go after my life, right? This experiencing discomfort, penetrating barriers, you know, that is awesome when it's balanced and flowed with gentleness, yin yang, right? So we spend time, sorry, just heard some music. So we spend some time being in this place where we are able to rest, recover, rejuvenate, be very gentle with ourselves. Making dinner and cleaning your room is like an event, and it's like, oh, okay, good work, good job tonight, time to rest. I'll watch a movie and I'll go to sleep. And then there's other days where it's like, wow, I really need to go call this friend and tell him my truth. I really need to go call my dad and tell him my truth. I need to write this blog post. I need to make these videos. I need to get after my life. I need to send these resumes out. I need to go for a run, go outside and challenge and stretch myself. It can be called etheric stretching, where you're actually stretching your capacity, your capability, little by little, and it causes stress. And then when you accomplish that, you go back to the rest. A rest is always more powerful after a long walk or after a jog or after an exercise. Always more powerful. So finding that flow and that rhythm, only you can decide what that rhythm is. Only you'll know what your harmony is in that department. I can never teach you. Spend X amount of time, spend 7 hours a day in state A and spend 8 hours a day in state B and then equals success. No, you have to figure out your flow. See, we all have our own little calculator. With everything that I teach, with everything that anyone ever teaches, you got to take it and put it in your own equation, in your own calculator, and spit out the answer. You can't just pull his answer and say, his x plus y equals z, that means his z equals my z. You have to put his z into your calculator, and z plus x plus y equals whatever your thing is. That's not the purest example of what I'm talking about, but basically, you know, using your own flow. You have to. Every single body is different. Your spirit is different. Your body is different. Your cells are different. You can never mindlessly take someone's advice. It has to. You feel their advice. Let it resonate. Let it do something to you. Let it click in as a truth, and then tweak it. Give it a plus or minus 20%, plus or minus 30, 40%. You do things something differently. This is how you can become the master of your ship. This is how you can become your own doctor. Never by taking advice and just doing it because someone gave it to you. So, my point in all that is that what was my point? Opened versus closing, and then I was into By the way, I never take any notes, and I rarely think about what I'm going to talk about before I start filming, so if I get lost, you know. Yeah. Anyway, that's me validating. I have this theme. I got caught in this same theme in my last video. I think you're going to see this video before this other video, but I talk about how I'm always justifying. See, if I can't catch my train of thought, I'm justifying why I can't catch it, or why I'm losing my train of thought, because I'm always hyper aware of how someone else is perceiving someone who is detoxed. And I'm like, oh wow, how they're going to think that you still get foggy headed when you're detoxed, and I go into this whole mental gymnastics. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did in my last video and take that whole thing and throw it away. So it's totally fine that I can go a minute at a time with losing my train of thought. That's just normal, even if you're healthy, even if you're clean. And I still have a ways to go, right, with my detox, so I'll only be getting cleaner and clearer. Anyhow, yeah. So I think I'm done on that, on all of that. Basically, just that using your own calculator with any advice that you receive. I'll never be able to tell you your flow. No one can ever tell you your flow. You've got to find it yourself. Alrighty. I think that's all. It could have done without the last minute mental gymnastics there, but I think you guys appreciate those anyway. And yeah. Oh yeah. Give me a like. Leave me a comment about what you think about this video. And most importantly, there's a little button next to the subscribe button. I've mentioned it before in other videos, and I never actually knew where it was, but now I just learned about it. If you hit the subscribe button, and then next to it there's a little bell. If you hit that bell, you get notified when I make a video, and then I get much better results. Basically, if I'm releasing a video and people get notified via email or text or something, or however, no, it's not text, it's like it comes to your YouTube and email, then if you watch it right away, first of all, you'll know when I'm making a video, so that's good for you, I guess, if you like my videos. But for me, I get instant feedback where, like, I'm posting a video and more people are watching it, and then I just get better results on YouTube. And if you haven't been able to tell, I've loved the prospect of being mega successful on YouTube. I love that idea. I don't know why it excites me so much. Maybe it's superficial, maybe it's my ego, but I fucking love the idea of being successful on YouTube. I want to be a YouTuber. That's my secret dream. Okay, now I'm done. Have a wonderful night, and yeah, peace.